Hi everyone, I wanted to pop on and share a little bit about my research in English language learners in relation to social emotional learning. So, this topic is of great interest to me because I think as educators, we are noticing that there is a big connection between students learning, but also not just learning curriculum and, for example, the English language, math, writing, and also developing their social emotional connections with one another, regulating their emotions, and also understanding themselves. So I'm just put together a couple of articles and I've made a little bit of a blurb of what I learned from it. So what I discovered in researching this question is the importance that social emotional learning plays in terms of English language learners in the fact that they don't have yet to, have learned everything about the English language. And of course, the vocabulary skills to express what they're feeling and what problems they may be having. They don't always have the language to initiate social interactions with one another, and especially when they're going into a new school, that's already a bigger factor. And they may have a hard time expressing with their teachers and with their peers, and they may present to educators as distant. And this can have an effect on their academic success. So therefore, when we're looking at children, it's important that we're looking at the whole child. This is why social emotional learning is very significant. We're also keeping in mind that it's essential that, especially with this online learning that we are going to be having this year, that we're trying to make connections and participate with students as much as possible. And I also think it's important that we're interacting in ways that we can integrate them into the community, and ensuring that their transition to school is easy. Also, in some of the research that I've read, I've discovered that teachers can give feedback online, and communicating with parents is very important to check in with them on what their child is displaying at home versus at school or online. And this will show that you care for the kids, and also to tell the parents that you care for their child that's in your classroom. So, for example, some research shows that messages such as "I like the way you do this" or "I see that you're trying to do this better. I like that." All of those words are simple, and that those English language students can understand. Also, using emojis is really nice, because obviously kids learn from watching, especially English television, that there's emotions that the television shows. So when you put that back into the classroom, if you're really happy with something, giving them a thumbs up or giving them, a check mark on something or a smiley face on something, all of those things can help develop their emotional attachment with you. Also, for example, in a class setting, if they are more shy and distant because of the language barrier, you can always give those emotional messages to them, so they're not kind of being pointed out. Especially with those children who are limited in the English language. Another way to promote social emotional learning, especially online, it can be done by doing flexible tasks for them. Give them the opportunity to pick from a drop down menu of what things they can do for that assignment. Not that this is the only one way and they may have some apprehension towards that. Allow them to use outlets such as drawing, taking photos, doing videos, right? So teachers, I think, should brainstorm with students, not just excluding the English language learners. As a class, brainstorm different ways that we can show our work, and just diving into the expectations so that they know what is expected of them and they have different avenues to pursue that. So I'm very passionate about English language learners. I think it's because my parents were English language learners. Their first language is Italian, so they always talk to me about coming into Canada and having a hard time communicating with their teachers, and oftentimes their peers they would be able to communicate with, because during the time that they immigrated to Canada, there was a lot of Italian immigration, but communicating with their teacher was often difficult. So that's a place that I hold dear to my heart, that I always want to ensure that my students in the near future will have that openness to me and want to try to express with me, because I have to show them I'm open for them to show they're open. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and please let me know if you have any questions, and I will be linking the resources down below. Bye guys.